Let's solve this problem, which is probably a hard problem to do it right in an OOP and professional way, but still it is within what we learned so far. The goal that we would like to load something only once for the same data, this should trigger something for you, the static variables. Remember, we needed something that is, it seems we need this data we needed to be loaded once, but all the other objects are using it. This should trigger first of all the static variables. If you got this point, congratulations, you are like halfway. This is the first one. Let's try to formulate this problem in a better way. We would like it seems we need like one single instance, static variable specifically, to be loaded and everyone else is using it. This is a very common problem in the software engineering industry. Everyone almost in his project is going to face it. And this is where the design pattern courses come to the scene. Design patterns are very repetitive problems that everyone is solving. And in the past, everyone is trying to solve the problem in his own way. Eventually, we recognize that this is a very repeated problem, and then we try to offer a solution that is the best fit as much as we could. And then we teach the people about it. The name for this problem is the singleton design pattern. If you couldn't get what I'm going to say here, feel free to Google for singleton design pattern and try to understand it. Singleton coming from the word single. From a programming language to another, providing the singleton design pattern might be a bit problematic. And it's really hard to provide simple and elegant solution. It isn't easy. There are different concerns. One of them sometimes is we didn't take that so far, about the multi-thread processing, for example, and a lot of issues. It is out of the scope of the course to go in an elegant solution or discuss the different angles for it. I just wanted you at this stage to know about the singleton. Below is one way to do that task, but here I am listing several links that might be a bit hard at the moment for you, but after the course or when you study design patterns, feel free to go and do by that. The way that I'm going to do it is as following. We will take our old class as it is and we'll make it an inner class. This is one usage for the inner classes. And we will try to make a static instance from this inner class. Now, the outer class will be just like a face for our main class to provide this static instance. Let's see the code. Here is the old class exactly as it is. I didn't do anything. I just renamed it to inner and pushed it inside another class that I coded configuration manager. So this is the old name as it is, and this is the old class. I made it inner. That's all. And this instance, which I started with a couple of underscores, I felt like it's good to mangle it here, is going to be an instance, static instance from that guy. Now let's go to the constructor here. The constructor will ask as following. Is this static instance has been created? If the answer is no, then we are going to return to build it. So now imagine the first call to this task. Someone calling the configuration manager. We go inside the init method, and the init method find that this instance is none. Okay, so it's going to call the internal configuration inner class to create the instance. Now in the second call, when someone try to create another configuration manager, it comes here and asks, is it none? The answer is no, it exists already. So now the instance is here. Now the remaining issue is outsiders wanted actually to probably access the attribute like that, or maybe access some method here. So this solution would mean you have to delegate the calls from the outer class to the inner class. So for example, for a property, the configuration path, we know that the guys were printing here the configuration path. So one way here, I provided a setter and getter for this configuration property, and the set and get is just accessing the instance and changing the value. Let's say that you have some function here. Let's call it f. Then we can provide here a function f, and inside our function f we call the instance.f. This way we delegated the attributes and the functions from outside to inside. I hope you got the idea. Try, just for educational purposes, try to do if you would like, try to do this idea, the singleton design pattern, with only the outer class. You will start to face troubles and you will recognize why I used an inner class. And also you can find on the web a lot of other methods that doesn't have an inner class, but it will involve more complicated methodologies. I hope you learned what is a singleton design pattern and has now a much better sense of design patterns. This isn't the first time we learn about a design pattern. The iterator design pattern is also one pattern. When you iterate on something and make it iterable, this is also the iterator design pattern. Also, when we learned about the static the class methods, we learned about what we call a factory design pattern. The factory method design pattern is a pattern where you have just a method to create objects for you. When we go more with some projects, you'll see more examples for it. That's all.